All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Space Surfers, a Scum and Villainy game brought to you by Would-Be Heroes. My name's Fisher, and I'm running this game, and I'm very excited. We got a fun heist, kinda, planned tonight. But let's send this around the horn and introduce everybody. First off, why don't we go, since John is eating, why don't we go to Adam?
Hi, I'm John, and I'm eating. I'm Adam, better known as Soulbind most places on the internet, and tonight I will be playing a character, X302, the muscle, also known as the Tin Man, affectionately.
Yeah. Next up, D.
Hey everyone, I'm D, or Night Wanderer, that's Wanderer with an O. Everywhere under Night Wanderer, Wanderer with an O. I am today playing Tiberius Scum, a scoundrel, and a noble of a fallen hegemonic house. But mostly just a dude with guns.
All right, and since he's not chewing anymore,
That's what you think.
John.
Yeah, I could be chewing and you wouldn't even notice.
That's his secret, he is always chewing.
Hello. My name is John, and today I will be playing Emerald, the Mystic. Have you ever had a dream that you had you could do you'll do you once you could do so you could you what you want them to do you so much you could do anything?
No,
Perfect.
Oh, very well
All
then.
right.
Has anyone ever been so far as decided to even go look like?
What if our eyes were eyes? Okay, so last time on Space Surfers, our crew, now fully formed, had a little bit of downtime, and did a variety of things. And then after that downtime, decided to jump over to a different system. You guys jumped to the Holt system to go over to the aquatic planet Mem. I can hear some echo somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys can hear that. To the aquatic planet Mem to go to a small island research station run by the Cult of the Seekers, who you are somewhat friendly with. A hegemonic cult who has been ordained by the hegemony to go seek artifacts, these precursor artifacts that they hope will help them open up the gate to the Hantu system, which has never been opened, which I'm sure is, that's for a good reason. So you guys, after delivering an artifact to these guys on Mem, they said, hey, while you guys are here, there's a temple down underneath the water, some old ruins that we've been getting some readings off of, and we believe that there's an artifact down there as well. So if you guys want to go down there, we'll pay you. And so you guys said okay, and jumped into a submersible and headed down. Things got risky. There was some kind of giant squid that caught notice of you guys, but X302 at the helm managed to pull a cool maneuver. He punched it and then shut off all the systems and drifted slowly down to the temple. And we ended last session with you guys suiting up and heading out of your submersible to these, big underwater temple ruins. So that is where we're going to pick things up. So, any questions? Anybody need to know anything?
I have a question.
Yes.
This planet sucks.
All right, so here you guys are.
Please
You
file
find
your complaint with
yourselves.
the Intergalactic Authority. Your complaint will be gotten to within 5 to 7 light years.
So you guys are in these they're like hard plastic alloy underwater suits that have been, they're not the same super heavy research exploration suits that you saw some of the other guys wearing. These are, lighter, and they're like white. But you have some room to move around. They have their own internal battery and oxygen packs that you have been told will last much longer than you will ever need them to. So yeah, this is you guys find yourselves at the entrance to some gigantic temple ruins, looking for some kind of artifact inside. What do you do?
Do we know where we're starting? Or are we just gonna kind of kick around the ruins until we find something that looks fancy?
You have not been told anything other than they were getting readings from this ruin. So unless you, you could potentially rig up some kind of radar, depending on what you can do, or being a mystic, it is possible that you can try to sense something from the ruins. These artifacts typically have some kind of weird way energy coming off of them.
All right. So forget the radar. We're gonna use a wadar. All right. So that would be a tune.
Yes. And
And
if
I
you're going to use
have.
a tune, oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just gonna ask. I have 2 ranks in a tune. Does that mean 2 dice or 3 dice?
That means 2 dice.
2 dice.
And because you're using a tune, you actually, when you open yourself up to the way down here, you can feel that it is very strong. Like it's all this underwater energy from the plant life and all the animals. The way is very strong down here. So you actually get an extra die.
Yep. That's a 2, a 3, and a 6.
Hey, a 6. All right, so that is a success. And I should have said kind of where you guys are at here. That would have been a that's not even risky. That's a controlled roll for standard effect. So you're fine there. Yeah, you kind of open yourself up to the way energies, and you can feel coming from inside of these ruins. You can definitely feel there is something inside that you are getting kind of some energy feedback off of. So yeah, you have a little bit of a trail that you can follow, or like a pinging point that you can feel in your mind deeper into these ruins.
Okay, well, I guess we just go down the giant hallway for a while.
So you guys start clomping, and there's this massive archway overhead as you guys start stepping into these ruins. And as you start moving up, you actually see a group of humanoids with tentacles on their heads. These are the Memish people. They're like blue and green and stuff. And they actually are kind of keeping guard. We'll say they haven't noticed you guys yet. Although you are pretty obvious down here. But yeah, there is a group of Memish People, they have like spears. They aren't wearing any kinds of suits, and they are kind of gathered around the entrance here. They will probably catch sight of you pretty quickly as you walk up to, the giant ruined archway.
So, remind me, we were hired by whom to retrieve?
The
You were
cultists.
hired,
Right.
yeah, you were hired
Who
by the
were-
Cult of the Seekers to explore the ruins down here because there is there's like some issues between the hegemony and the local there's like a local rebellion faction that is trying to keep them away from sites like this, so in order to basically like remove themselves from having an official hand in coming down here to explore the ruins, they paid you guys to come do it.
Right. So we're effectively doing this against the will of the meme folks.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Memish are pretty unhappy with the state of the colonization of their planet, from what you understand. It's a complicated situation. There are Memish people who work for the hegemony. There are Memish researchers.
Unhappy about being colonized, unheard of.
Yeah, how dare they? So yeah, it is a sticky wicket that you may find yourself in potentially.
Right. Okay. So we don't want to be spotted by those people, if at all possible. So they can swim around without a suit. So I assume the pressure where we're at is not like bone shattering, or they just have like really advanced physiology.
Yeah, you're not sure. Although, I mean, if you had to guess, they are, they're native to this planet, so they probably do have some kind of, stronger bone density, all that kind of stuff that allows them to swim down here the way a normal human would not. So what's your approach here?
I suppose we should go for something of a distraction. I don't think they deserve to die just because we've been hired to steal some things. I imagine a front-lawn confrontation would lead to violence.
Yes, we should probably avoid violence if we can.
If you say so.
How fast? Like, can we move reasonably well in these suits, or are we like walking on the moon, kind of bouncing around like dumbasses?
I'll say that you guys kind of have like two different modes. There are like like a minor jet propulsion system that allows you to move move yourself with propulsion, and then you can also just like walk and move around underwater, which is much slower. And I'll say the jet propulsion system has like a limited amount before it needs to like recharge, basically. So it can be helpful in a pinch to maneuver and navigate, but it is not good for extended propulsion underwater. But you guys could potentially, like, if you had a distraction in mind, you could try to distract them and then punch it towards the entrance.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at. I didn't know if we could even reasonably do that, or if it would be like, well, 30 minutes later, we're almost there.
No, I would say, rule of cool. This is supposed to be like a dynamic underwater heist kind of thing in a way. There's no reason for you guys to feel like you should be incredibly limited by the submersibles. And the suits and stuff like that.
I would like to initiate a flashback.
Okay.
Which costs a stress, I think.
1 or 2, depending on how much is going on in this flashback. So if it's like a more
Um,
major thing, then 2. If it's a little bit more minor, than just 1.
Yeah, essentially because we were infiltrating something that belongs to the Memish folks, and not being super familiar with them, X302 would have taken time before leaving on the mission to learn a little more about their culture and specifically get voice samples of their language and the way that they sound when they speak.
Okay. I'm going to say that's going to be 2 stress. So go ahead and mark off the 2 stress. And yeah, you have some research and a variety of voice samples that you have gotten a hold of.
Perfect. I believe I can try and lead them away using their native language. Once they move, be prepared to brush the gate. And then he will pilot off to one side of like where they're guarding, like around the side of the ruins, and then we'll use a voice modulator to replicate a mimetic sounding voice and just start calling for help, just as if he was in distress.
Okay. Do you have like a voice modulator on your sheet?
Yeah, it's under
Or
spy gear.
Okay, cool. Then go ahead and mark that off. Oh, and then I'm not sure if I think I did ask before we got into this about the amount of load that each of you would be taking, but let me just clarify that now. Are you guys going to go with light, normal, or heavy for your load down here? And I would say there is no reason for you guys not to pick heavy, considering the nature of like the suits and stuff like that.
Right.
I think it makes sense for you guys to have like geared up to be coming down here. So unless you have a reason to not want to have like a heavier load, which could be, there could be a reason for that comes into play. So that's up to you guys.
Yeah. For reference, just for flavor, I think because of X302's droid nature, of my headcanon is he's essentially always got hacking tools and spy gear equipped because they're built in. So his load is never less than 2, but the lightest load is 3 anyway. So that
Yeah.
really doesn't come into play unless I need more than one thing on a light load.
Cool. So you want to go normal, heavy? We'll just say
Yeah, I would just go
heavy
heavy,
for everybody.
I think-
Sound good?
I think just because he is very loath to overbear himself, Tiberius will be going with a normal. A normal load. Just like I don't think he would ever go heavy
Sounds good.
unless there's a specific
Yeah.
need.
Yeah. Armand looks like one of those kids whose parents dressed him for winter. Like, he just grabbed everything he could because he hates this world.
Perfect. All right, so go ahead and check that off your sheet, and then give me a which action do you think that you would be using here to distract these guys with this?
Like a skulk. I could see it being skulk or maybe one of the resolve ones, but
I think skulk makes plenty of sense. So yeah, go ahead and give me a skulk roll. And I'll let you add in an extra die since you did the flashback and you have and you're checking off the tool. I think that that is worth an extra die. So go ahead.
all right, that's are we just looking for the highest number?
Yes.
It's a 6.
And if you get 2 6s, it's a critical.
No, I got a
That's,
5 and a 6,
Oh.
not 2 6s.
Okay. So yeah, you kind of like jet over to one side away from the other 2 people in your group and head over around the corner. You know, there's these ruins have like totally collapsed and fallen apart. So there's all kinds of debris for you to be able to move around behind and hide under. And you head off to one side and activate your voice modulator, and you guys can hear. Your suits have like it's like a speaker replicator. It's like picking up stuff from outside and then replicating it to you on the inside. And you guys can hear kind of out in the distance this like, it's like a like over in the distance, and you can see these figures kind of turn all their heads and then start to swim towards the direction that X302 went off into, giving you guys a chance to jet towards the entrance of the ruins.
And we do so.
Let's scramble,
right.
Slugman.
Now, this puts you in a little bit of a position here, X302. I mean, you can set it off and then kind of jet away from it and rejoin them over. That seems pretty reasonable that you can do that.
Yeah. My thinking was that once they confirmed that they were moving away, then I would try and sort of double back and avoid their line of sight while heading back towards the entrance. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have radars or radios in between your suits, so that's easy to be able to communicate between yourselves. So yeah, you guys managed to distract this group of Memish people, and then head towards the entrance. And then once you guys get inside, why don't you guys tell me what you do?
So once we get inside, and presumably like close the door in some way, shape, or form, cut us off visually from the Mimish.
It is like an open, ruined like door, like temple door archway. So when you get in, they can't really see you because it's such a it's like a big closed off temple. But there isn't a door to close necessarily, so you just have to hope that they don't look inside and see you guys with lights on. But
In that case, I will not turn on my light. Yeah, I guess just general, just vibing out, seeing if I can ascertain what direction we should be going for this doodad.
Yeah, you have a decent lock on the direction that you're getting this from, but this place is like totally falling apart. So you do kind of eventually hit a point where you're running into, giant pieces of rubble that need to be moved, or, that's one. That's kind of the first thing you run into is you have a direction to go into, but there's a whole hallway that just seems to kind of be collapsed on itself. So what do you guys want to do to try to get past this?
So the hallway was fully collapsed?
Yeah, I mean, you guys could maybe start to move some stuff and squeeze through potentially, but your suits are maybe not. There's like some risk there with all of the rubble and debris, depending on, and then time with how much stuff you're moving. You can also potentially try to find like a weird pathway off to the side. I want to encourage you guys to use some imagination with the things that I put in your path. I don't want to have just one solution for any of these kinds of things. So if you can come up with something, I'm all ears for it.
I suppose I could try and blow a hole through it, but that would probably attract attention.
Maybe we can find some key load-bearing bits and pieces that we could remove so that the rest tumbles down. Open up a small hole on top.
That's a good idea. Why don't you do that, Tiberius? It sounds like you're kind of looking around for some of those already.
Yeah.
What?
Study, I guess.
That makes sense.
But, yeah.
You got a dot in study.
Study. I do have a dot in study. What's
And
our-
you can push yourself to get an extra die, so that'd be 2 stress.
Mhm.
Or you could take a devil's bargain as well, which would also give you a die. Or someone can assist you, which they spend a stress, and then you get an extra die. There's a variety of ways. And then you also have gambits. I kind of forgot about the gambits. You guys started off this mission with 3 gambits, and I think you already got one back. So I think you guys are at 4 gambits right now, from what I'm looking at.
At least according to the sheet.
Yeah, I think you guys used one with the squid. So,
I mean, I would definitely use a gambit to get up to at least 2 dice, if I may.
sure.
And so I'll spend.
If we help, is it like do we do the roll 2 or do we just give them
No,
the
you
dice in
just-
exchange for stress?
Yes, you just spend 1 stress to give them a die. So if Armand wants to help out with the study roll,
Sure.
Okay.
I think the only thing I would say is you have to have a dot in study.
I have 2.
Yeah, then in that case, that makes total sense that you can be helping him kind of find these right load-bearing rocks.
Pontificate
to be
about
pulling.
structural weaknesses.
Yes. Yeah.
Alrighty, let's see. That's a 1, a 2, and a 4.
Okay, a 4. So, you are finding some of the right rocks, and you're starting to pull them, and you definitely have, you're starting to make some way, and then you grab one, and it's like kind of sticking a little bit. So when you pull it out, you give it like a little bit of oomph, and when you pull it out, it's like a little bit too load bearing. So a bunch of stuff starts to crumble and fall, which kicks up some dust and could potentially be noticeable. I'm actually going to start a clock here right now. That's going to be noticed by Memish guards. Noticed by guards. Here we go. And I'm going to make this a 6-track clock. And I'm going to mark 1 off for that. Because you guys are kicking up some dust and debris down here. And then also, you, I'm going to say that, there's some of this stuff is kind of falling around you guys. And you might need to get out of the way of some of it potentially, as like these rocks start crumbling towards you. So why don't I'm gonna say that each of you need to take both you and Armand, just because you are the ones doing it. Each of you need to take either I'm just gonna say 2 stress.
Okay.
It's got to take 2 more stress, because all these rocks start kind of falling around you, and you need to jump out of the way. And if you want to, you can potentially resist against this stress. You can always try to roll a resistance roll against anything that's going to happen to you. But that is up to you guys.
What is a resistance roll?
What is the downside of trying a resistance roll?
There isn't really much of one, from what I understand. Your resistance roll is, you can pick something like one of your bigger categories, insight, prowess, or resolve, and you can roll a resistance roll to keep a negative consequence from happening to you. Resist roll 1d per attribute slot. You reduce or avoid the consequence and take 6 stress minus your high. Oh, that doesn't really make any sense. Okay. No, so I'm gonna say that you guys take 2 stress.
Okay. That rock was a bit too load-bearing.
I also
Should
need
have taken the
to.
one next to it.
I also need to remember to tell you guys the status of your rolls. That was a. I'm gonna say risky for standard effect. On that one, so I got to remember to do that every time you guys roll. But anyway, so now you have an opening now in this hallway since you have cleared some space. And you guys continue through, and you guys find yourselves coming into a bigger room. And this room is not as ruined. You're kind of getting into an antechamber on the inside here that is, it's very like ornate. And there's all this like bioluminescence glowing off the walls from all this underwater moss that has grown everywhere. And as you're heading down, across this antechamber, there's this huge door, or like wall thing. It's like it seems to be like a door that's blocking off a section of this temple, and it's got all these ornate carvings on it of underwater beasts and people. There's like larger creatures, and then there's these smaller humanoid creatures who are like reaching out to them, and it's got some really cool, weird art. But you can't figure out how to get past this wall or door. It doesn't just open.
Oh boy, puzzle. We used to have those over on Sogmoxia. So many dead. Ah.
What your people wanted in the grand scheme of things, was it not?
Well, yes, but also we would rather have died to the giant space worm.
Oh, you meant before the... Yes,
Yes.
of course.
Puzzles were rather deadly. So, it looks like a bunch of people are worshipping weird monsters on this.
Yeah, so there's like bigger humanoids, and then there are smaller humanoids that are kind of like reaching up to them, and the bigger humanoids kind of like have their hands open, and then there are like sea creatures all circling around. Yeah. So it seems like two different kinds of people. Maybe they're like handing them something, but there's like a lot of faded and destroyed parts of the wall just from erosion.
Does it say anywhere that we need to play an ocarina to change the water levels?
So it's just essentially an empty chamber with this wall with the mural on it. It's kind of dead ends.
There are other hallways that go off in other directions. This is like a big square room, basically, with like 4 or 5 different hallways going in different directions. But the way that Armand is sensing that you need to go, it seems to be beyond this door.
Gotcha.
Perhaps we should have a look around, see if we can find anything key-like.
Is there anything that is implying as to what the shape of the key might be?
Usually a key has a receptacle.
It's a puzzle.
Yes, you've
We
said.
mystic types love our puzzles, so the key, as it were, is probably not actually a key, but some series of simple tasks we must perform in a certain order.
Beautiful. Can you solve it?
No!
Excellent.
Does anybody want to give me any kind of roll here?
I got 2 in
Yeah.
study.
Okay.
Oh, that's 2 6s.
Nice.
Hey, well, look at that. Yeah, Armand, you go up to, you're like checking out all the art on the wall and all this stuff and kind of like rubbing your hand along some of it, pulling off some of the lichen from the wall. And then you are kind of like following this groove over to like a small indentation, and you like reach your hand inside, and it's all this like gunk that's built up inside of it, but you reach your hand inside of it and you grab onto something on the inside and you pull it, and all of you hear this like as the wall starts to slowly raise. You seem to have found some kind of almost like a hidden handle in the door, and it slowly starts to raise. But I'm also going to mark off another section on noticed by the guards.
Make note of the fact that the priest is a liar.
Huh?
Nothing, just saying what an excellent job you did.
What I do?
Whatever you did to open the door.
Holy. Okay. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I blacked out there for a second.
A very bad liar.
So this gate slowly raises up. And because you got a critical, I'm going to say, as it slowly raises up, you notice, before you guys enter inside, that there are these mechanical objects that seem to be, like, attached to the walls over there's like this big long hallway, and it's very dark, so you'll probably want to switch your lights on, which isn't much of a problem in here. You don't have any guards around you need to worry about, but there's this big hallway that leads down, and you can see at the far end of this hallway there are these mechanical, they seem like they're maybe like dormant robots that are like attached to the sides of the walls. And Armand, you notice them as the gate opens before anybody enters inside. They don't seem to be doing anything yet. They have not been activated.
Oh boy, puzzle traps. Whatever. You see those over there? Depending on how wrong we get the next puzzle, those will come alive and kill us.
Well, that sounds unpleasant.
Yeah. You first.
Oh, very. Yes. Armand will take the lead.
It is good to have a self-destructive member in the crew. I have to remember this for
It is!
follow-up crews.
As long as they do the self-destructing at an acceptable distance.
Yeah.
So Armand, you head up to it. There's another door. It's not as big and ornate. This hallway kind of like slowly gets smaller as it leads to the end, and you get up to this door, and these bots still haven't activated so far, and you have another door here. Now this one does not have all the art and another handle on it that you can find. This one does seem to have some kind of lock or like a slot to put something into. You guys don't have anything that you know of that you have found or have been given to open this door.
Oh, this one actually uses a key. No puzzle as far as I can tell.
It's going to be a problem.
Anyone know how to pick a lock?
Not this type. I might be able to pick the robots. I'm gonna go examine one of the robots more closely,
Okay.
just to get a feel for like the technology level, like if they're steampunk or if they actually have some sort of software, circuitry or something.
These do not. Um, so these were clearly not made by the Guild of Engineers or like anybody modern. This is technology that makes basically like no sense to you. I don't know if you've ever encountered Urbots before. You probably have a little bit here and there, but from you could guess that this is like ancient technology. So it is simultaneously like, you know, uh, ancient and old, and also, technologically advanced beyond understanding. So you're not super sure. You could potentially try to hack into it, but you have no idea. This is not a computer the way that you think you understand computers, as far as you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of what he was trying to determine.
There's like some Lovelace level computing.
Right.
Can I inspect the lock itself to see if maybe I might be able to crack it?
Sure.
I don't know if that's like a skulk, maybe. I don't know what like a general what we would be using for general like thiefy, picklocky things.
I would say that you have a variety of options here. I think Skulk makes sense, although Skulk, that's something that you could totally roll here. I also think that potentially Rig or Study could come in handy. You might. I don't know if any of you guys have any items on you that could
Oh, that's right.
be used. I also want to, again, I want to encourage you guys to be creative here. This is not necessarily, maybe you can't hack the door, but what they do in Star Wars when they can't hack doors? They shoot them. There's like,
Yeah, I was about to say I have a beam Qatar.
there's other, yeah.
Theoretically, I have access to illicit drugs. Is the door perchance an addict?
You'd have to ask.
Give the door a bump. First, you take the drugs so that you can
Yeah,
communicate with
exactly.
the door. Then you ask the door if it would like some drugs.
Yeah. Just like put like a little fingertip of drugs into the lock, smear it around, and place it just beyond its radius so that it swings open.
Yeah, we got these Akemi Frostus crystals. I like the beam katana. I like the beam katana idea a lot, but I wanna give you guys an opportunity to come up with other options before just brute forcing the door, if that's what you want to do.
I have a question. On my sheet, one of the loadout things that I can have that, interestingly enough, doesn't count for load is mystic ammunition. Is that a specific thing, or is it just kind of like a carte blanche? Is it like what was the Voltaire song, USS make shit up, or is it
a large caliber shell? A large caliber shell designed to be fired from a specialized gun that releases mystic energies when it hits. Grants potency against mystic targets.
Okay.
So
the Outlaw Star.
Thing.
It is kind of a specific thing. I am this is a rules light system, and I think I'm making it obvious this episode that I want you guys to do kind of whatever you want with some of the things on here. So I like that explanation that it's like a special magic bullet that fires special that releases mystic energies. As far as you can tell, this is like a mystic temple. So a mystic ammunition may very much come in mind. If you have a different flavor or different idea of what you want your mystic ammunition to be, by all means, give it to me.
I was thinking
and
of
I
it like in a sort of because I wasn't sure whether it was like I said like specifically defined in a way or if it was just like a generic kind of like catch-all for make whatever you want up. I was kind of like having a what's his face, Green Arrow / Hawkeye style of thing where like different things of ammunition do different things. So there might be like one like bullet that I can load in that's actually like a little tiny droid or something that unlocks locks, like that's like an automatic lock picker or something. But
that seems more complicated
yeah. Exactly.
than what this is saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to say that is the most American idea I've ever heard.
Just-
I want a
yeah,
gun
yeah,
that shoots lockpicks.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I get a
Yes.
lockpick gun, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Technically, it is a lockpick gun, but it doesn't
Yeah.
fire a projectile.
Absolutely, yeah. Just shoot first. Consider the logistics later.
Before we attempted a less finesse-based route for the door, perhaps a contingency plan. I don't like the looks of the dormant guards here. So while they're inspecting the door and deciding to do whatever they're going to, he's just going to quietly place, not activate, just place detonators next to each of the robots, so that if they wake up and start doing something, he can pop them.
Okay.
I'm going to
What-
end up burying us in this temple. It's fine.
You place some detonators. What do you guys want to do? It seems like we've got a beam katana and we've got mystic ammunition.
Rock, paper, scissors?
I prefer the I prefer your method.
Oh, okay then. So yeah, Armand will reach into whatever little body compartment he keeps the guitar in, and but yeah, point of flavor, not a katana but a guitar. So it's one of
It's
those,
like a curved,
I believe,
a curved
Indian.
blade.
No, it is a punch dagger.
Yeah, that's
I
not-
believe it's from
Oh,
India.
It's one of those. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, he'll click it on. Kurzat, the big yellow blade comes out, and yeah, he is going to he's going to try to shimmy the door open like he's using a credit card.
Oh, okay. All right. What would you like to roll for that?
Oh hell, I don't know. My dyslexia kicked in and I misread doctor as door, and I was like, wow, that's a really specific skill.
I'd like to roll for door.
Can I use my door skill, please?
So my brain is trying to figure out how I could use study, scrap, or attune, since those are my three biggest ones.
Sure.
I mean, if you're using a legally distinct lightsaber, a tune seems too crazy.
Attune works for me.
Attune makes sense. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that at all. So, yeah,
Do I
go
still
ahead.
get the bonus dice?
Yes, you do.
Hot dog. Come on, all ones. Ah. Oh, that's a 1, a 2, and a 3.
Ooh, boy. So that is a failure. So a couple of different things are going to happen.
Oh, hell yeah.
You activate your psi blade, and you kind of jam it into the crack of the door to start to shimmy it open. And when you do so, you receive a jolt of energy, why don't we call that, let's say a level 1 harm. And we'll just say electrocuted. Yeah, you got like fried by this thing a little bit here. And so like your suit starts giving off some mild warnings, electrical surge, and you can, totally feel that you just got shocked by this thing. And then both whoa. And then both of the Urbots that are on the sides of the walls by the door here light up. They seem to have like one ocular eye thing that opens up on the front and like extends out, and they're kind of like they unfold a little bit, like they're not as like brick like, but they're kind of like the robots from Interstellar, where they have, they're like very they're like bars with right angles and stuff that start to like unfold, almost like crabs or spiders in a way, but very like mechanical. And they start to, kind of unfold and activate, and then the eyes very quickly go from like a white blue to red as they focus onto the group of you. Do you want to activate the detonators?
Yes. I think it's time for that.
So here's my question. I have kind of describe to me this scene here. Armand went up to the door to try to slice it open. Are you guys kind of hanging back a little bit? Or kind of tell me where you guys are all at in this hallway.
Yeah, so I would have placed the detonator next to each bot, not having armed it, just having it in place, and then would have moved towards the door, but up back a bit just to see what happened. And then essentially, like the moment something goes wrong or seems like it's going to go wrong, would flip it to arm them, and then when the bots woke up, would move to detonate. But yeah, sort of in between them and the door.
So they're by the door that you're trying to crack open.
So they're next to the
like,
door.
Yeah, they're
I
next
see.
to the door.
I thought they were
you're
like
trying to
further
crack
back.
open.
I got you.
No.
Yeah, so then I would just be a few steps back.
Okay. You activate those. Tiberius, are you kind of further back as well?
Yeah, I think like maybe not necessarily at the same distance as X number, but but like at a point where I can easily like shoot the lock in case something is going on without troubling myself with too much aim. So probably.
Okay, so you're kind of in between.
Yeah.
You're kind of in between X302 and Armand.
Oh,
All right, so here's the situation then. Yeah, X302, you can decide at any point when they're armed. You can decide at any point when you want to press the button. Your detonators are on the walls or you could have put them even on the bots if you wanted to.
Yeah, I was going for as close as possible, but I didn't want to necessarily put it like on a bare component in case it sensed, something being attached to it or whatever.
That makes sense then. So I'll say that they're like on the wall, like right next to them.
Yeah.
But just from like the blast radius of these explosives, that a couple of different things can happen when you're gonna blow these up. You could hit Armand and Tiberius, maybe a little less Tiberius because he's a little further back with the explosion. And then also, this is going to possibly, like you said, structurally depreciate this hallway. So you just tell me when you want to press the button. But so these things start unfolding and they turn red, and they both, I'm going to say, they both immediately go for Armand since he is the intruder at the door. what do you guys want to do? They're moving up to Armand, and they seem to have like one of them flicks on what seems to be some kind of like plasma cutter sort of thing, like a flame turns on under the water, and then the other one has like arms that are reaching out to try to grab Armand.
Yes, I think once they start to move towards Armand, I'm going to make a judgment call that they will block enough of the explosion to not damage him too significantly, but we need it to damage them, or otherwise this is all for naught. So as soon as they're sort of in between him and the blast path, I will go on the boom.
Okay, I'm gonna make basically like a fortune roll here. So we're gonna roll, we'll say 1 die for the detonators. We're gonna roll what's your study? You don't have any study, so I'm not gonna add anything in for study. And then, oh boy, I don't have a lot of other good stuff to add in here. I think we're just gonna roll. I think we're just gonna roll 1 die and see what happens here. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Okay, so here's what happens. The detonators go off immediately. This hallway fills with like dust. It becomes like impossible to see anything. All the sand that kicks up and the debris that starts to crumble. You can feel around you stuff start to fall. This hallway you're in is crumbling. The bots are significantly damaged, but are we'll kind of find out where they're at in terms of operationalness. Armand, you need to take a level 2 harm. This explosion has blasted open your underwater suit, and you're starting to take on water, and your mechanical, your mech suit that you live in is not going to handle this very well. So you are short circuiting. That's going to be your level 2 harm. Now, if you want, you can try to resist this level 2 harm. This is where the resistances come in. What you would do is you would mark 6 stress, and then you can roll one of your resistance abilities to try to reduce the amount of stress that you take from resisting it. So if you resist it, I would let you not have the level 2 harm short-circuited. You just have to tell me in what way you're trying to resist your suit short-circuiting, and then we would have to do the stress roll. But that's up to you.
Okay, so as opposed to taking a level 2 harm, I can instead take 6 stress, which I can then try to resist?
Yes.
Okay, so what happens if 6 stress caps my current stress before the roll?
You get a trauma. You get a trauma.
That seems fitting, honestly.
Yeah. So you know what? Yeah, let's try that.
Okay. So first, tell me how you are resisting the short circuiting of your suit. What is Armand doing to try to, keep himself safe in this circumstance?
Well, you see, being from a mining planet, the suits have several safety features that the homogeny were legally obliged to put in. So with the patented bare minimum safety system, he will basically hit the button that'll seal up the joints. So the suit would move stiffer, but it'll like seal the suit off from external damaging effects.
Okay, I like
So
that.
typically airborne particles, but he's hoping it works on water as well.
Okay, now what do we think? I think that sounds like insight, personally.
That works for me.
Which would give you 1 die. If you want, you can push yourself. That's no, you can't, because
Yeah, I was about to say.
it's also a resistance roll. So yeah, it's gonna give you 1 die to resist. So go ahead and roll your insight resistance.
All right, let me just fill up my stress bar real quick. And yeet. That's a 5.
Oh, nice. So take 5 back off of that. You only took 1 stress.
Oh, hot dog.
You very quickly noticed that your underwater exploration suit has been damaged and water is leaking in, and you activate the the thing that bars off external entry for the water from your suit. And your suit is not watertight, but this does help. So nice, very good job. You are not short circuiting. Okay. Now here's the thing. As the debris starts to clear from the air, Tiberius, I'm also gonna have you take a level 1 harm, which is basically just like blowback or like whiplash. We'll call it whiplash. Like you get knocked back pretty hard by this explosion. Nothing super serious, but so yeah, as the debris starts to clear, Armand, you notice that these Urbots are they are still operational. One of them is much more heavily damaged than the other one. The one with like the plasma cutter is more damaged, but it's starting to rearrange some of its body parts to try to pick itself up off of the ground. But the one with the grabby arms is the back half of it has been blown off, but it still has the grabby arms. So it's reaching forward, and it is now grabbing onto you after you activate the suit. It comes over and grabs on to one of your arms of your suit with its very powerful robot hands. Now, the other 2 of you are starting to be able to see what is going on with this hallway. And like I said, the structural instability here is way higher than it was before. I'm also going to mark noticed by guards. I'm going to mark off 3 slots on that. So you guys are pretty close to being... You guys have one slot on this clock left before the guards notice you.
Seems fair.
Yeah. What do you guys want to do?
Is the door still closed?
Yes.
But the hallway / room we're in is actively crumbling, it seems, or
yeah, it's pretty bad. You need to make a decision.
You said that one of the Urbots had like a plasma cutter thing.
Yes, and that's the one that's more heavily damaged.
Can I shoot it in such a way as to make the plasma cutter fall into and onto the door?
I mean, you could shoot it in a way to blast the plasma cutter off, and then you could go get the plasma cutter and then try to use it on the door.
Let's try to do that.
I think. Okay, what do you want to roll to shoot this thing?
Good question. I don't suppose you would accept sway.
No.
What if I wink at it while shooting its arm off?
No.
What if he has a good one-liner? Do you have scrap?
No, I don't. But I do have scramble, and I think this is sort of like a last ditch, like a desperate effort that I'm scrambling for solutions.
I think that makes a lot of sense, actually. That because you're like shooting and you're trying to get up to it and grab it
Yeah.
and then cut the door
Yeah.
open. This is all kind of like one action, right? So we're gonna call this a desperate action,
Okay.
which means you can mark 2 XP in your prowess for
Nice.
doing this. We're gonna call this a desperate action for standard effect. You'll be able to cut the door open with the plasma cutter, hopefully, if you get a success on this.
So what does it mean that it's a desperate action? What effects does that have?
So let me kind of explain the breakdown here for the way that works. It's over here.
And more importantly, what is it that exactly generates gambits? Is it like if I roll a 6 or?
Yes, it's if you roll a 6 on risky actions, but because you are a scoundrel, I believe you also get to
get it on
generate
desperate
gambits
ones, yeah.
on desperate actions. Yes. So desperate, you overreach your capabilities, you're in serious trouble. So that's like the main flavor of a desperate action. I also need to remember there's some other things here too. So, like in a desperate action, if you get a critical, you do it with increased effect, and you get a gambit. 6, you do it. 4 to 5, you do it. But there's a consequence: you suffer severe harm, or a serious complication occurs. So it basically just means it depends on like if you fail on a desperate action, it's a bigger problem. If you fail on a risky action, it's not as bad. If you fail on a controlled action, it's it's a minor consequence.
Gotcha.
So that's the big thing. It's just the position from which you are making the roll. And then standard effect means you're going to cut the door open. You're not doing it with great effect, but if you got a critical, you would do it with great effect. So like you would get something else.
And am I able to push myself on a desperate action?
Yes, you can push yourself. You can also use a gambit if you want to.
Do you guys mind if I use a gambit as well?
Go for it.
Okay.
By all means, get us out of this precarious position that I've placed us in.
I'm gonna try. Oops.
This is what happens when you tell me not to make a face character. I'm just saying.
Blow everything up.
Blow everything up.
A 6.
A 6. Okay. Yeah, you aim your blaster. Your blaster fires just fine underwater. Also mark off on your sheet that you're using your sidearm.
Yep.
And then you blast off the plasma cutter and kind of like launch yourself with the jet propulsion system over past the Urbot and grab the plasma cutter and get over to the door and start slicing it open. And the dust is starting to clear in here enough now that all of you can see what's going on. But as you're slicing it open, maybe you're a little busy for this, but X302, you can see the other Urbot is grabbing onto Armand.
Yeah, so I would like to activate Unstoppable.
Okay.
And basically just pry the arms off of Armand. Just get into a wrestling match with the robot, essentially.
Awesome. So yeah, you activate Unstoppable, and then why don't you also give me a roll?
Scrap.
Okay. And I'm going to... Oh, you have to push yourself, so take the 2 stress for that.
Yeah.
And then... Yeah, give me the scrap roll. And because you're pushing yourself, I'll give you the extra die for the scrap roll as well.
It's a 5.
Okay. Yeah, you get over to this thing and grab its arms and start peeling its arms off. And then it has like other arms that start reaching towards you too as well. But you actually, because, you are maybe stronger than this thing with your, fine cybernetic weave or whatever you have in your body.
Sure.
So you can like rip one of the arms off and then kind of start getting into a wrestling match with this thing. Armand, you are free, and you can beat this thing. You're pretty sure, but as you're fighting this thing, your underwater exploration suit is taking damage. So you not like as much as Armand took from the blast, but
Yeah.
you can tell you're gonna start getting into a precarious situation with your suit here. The other two of you, Tiberius, you slice the door open with the plasma cutter, and it's a little hard to get open, but you and Armand together can start to push on it and open it up. It does like slide open upwards, so you have to kind of like push it open. And I'll say the three of you, maybe you like grab the robot and shove it into the wall, and then push off of it and jet towards your two friends and slide underneath the door through the space that they have opened up. And here you are inside of this well-protected chamber. There is like a big orb in the ceiling that is projecting some kind of mystical light all around. There's like this faint blue, purplish light. And there are a couple of different things in this. There's like an altar with some like steps that lead up to it, and there's this big altar, and then there are a couple of other like smaller side stone like tables kind of by the altar. And the orb kind of like dazzlingly displays all its blue light down upon this altar and these two tables next to it. But before you guys walk up to those, we're going to take a small break. So D, why don't you hit that break?
Will do in a second. How long of a break do we want to take?
Oh, 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Alrighty. We'll be right back.
All right.
And we're back.
All right. So yes, you guys are in this, what seems to be some kind of special chamber in this temple that you've gotten into. And like I said, this orb is dazzlingly displaying down onto like an altar and two tables next to it. You guys head up the stairs to this altar. And yeah, similarly to what you guys found on Slugmoxia, there is a it's like a dome that is covering a small metal pyramid. But there's like a big glass dome over it. And then also next to it, on the tables, are a variety of objects. Not, a couple of objects on each table. And these are not covered by a dome.
What do the objects look like? I'm gonna get closer to investigate.
Let me hold on just 1 second. Okay. So okay, so the artifacts look like one of them is a sphere. It's like a metal sphere with like some weird facets in it. One of them is a cube that is kind of like indented in all of the middles and then like has like sharper or pointier edges. And then on the other table there is like a long rod that you could like pick up, almost like a handle of some kind. And then there is another cube, but this one's like more like a box. This seems like it has a lock on it. Um, there's just all these things in here, and then there is the um, under the dome, the metal pyramid.
How big is the pyramid?
It can fit in the palm of your hand. It looks exactly like the one that you guys found on Slugmoxia.
So, we have another puzzle.
And Armand, you are getting, basically from the moment you entered into this room, the way, the radar that you made for yourself has been going off. The way energy in this room is very strong. And as you get up to this altar, you are in a place of great mystic power.
Reminds me of home. Let's see. Could I do a study or some such to try and see if there is a trap that is going to trigger if we do this wrong?
Sure. Go ahead and give me a study roll.
I just want to know what's going to blow me up next. Snake eyes.
Oh no!
You shoot yourself.
It's perfectly safe.
Okay.
Your humanoid Winnebago is gonna blow up.
Oh no.
Boy, that's pretty bad. Okay, so you start looking at these objects and then at the big glass dome, and then you're kind of trying to see like what's connected to the dome so that you can figure out if there's any traps in this room. But you've had yourself like opened up to all of this way energy this whole entire time. And it is, like I said, it's very overwhelming. This is a place of great power. And so very quickly you get kind of overwhelmed by trying to think about all this other stuff, and you feel very, very strongly that you need to sit down and meditate.
So, yeah, Armand is looking around, and then he just stops stock still and, like a puppet with its strings cut, just collapses to the floor and slowly rights himself into a sitting position. And you hear dial-up modems as he is meditating.
Does that normally happen?
I'm gonna go up to the thing that looks like it. I think you described one thing that looked like a handle of some sorts.
Yes.
I gotta go up to that and inspect it. Like, one of the things that I'm very much interested in is figuring out if these items like fit together in some way.
Okay. What the risk of being repetitive? Well, tell me what you want to roll.
I mean, in this case,
study would be the thing that I. That's kind of what
study is kind of like the thing that I'm looking like, and I just like stride up and start like inspecting these things.
Sure. You just want to give me straight one die study roll then? Okay.
Come on. Yes, that's a 6.
Nice. Okay. Well, you pick up the the thing that looks like a handle of some kind, and start kind of inspecting it. You're not super sure how it works. It doesn't seem to have any like buttons, or it doesn't like come apart in any way. Um, but from what you can tell, it does not seem like it fits together with. We'll say you pick up the other thing on this table, the box that seems like it has some kind of like lock on it. It doesn't seem like this unlocks this box. It doesn't seem like these things fit together. As you go over to the other table, it doesn't seem like it connects to the sphere or the cube. It seems like these are maybe all separate items, and you're not super sure how they work. But with a 6, I will give you this. I will say, with a 6, you are messing around with this this handled item, and it, you kind of like twist it in a way, and it activates, and it is it seems to be some kind of like plasma sword.
Nice.
Much more a standard lightsaber than the side blade that Armand wields.
No, very nice.
But as you flick it on, and it activates, and then very quickly you start to feel it get kind of hot in your hands, and you're not sure if it's overheating or what, but it seems like maybe it's not super safe to have on.
I mean, while we're at it, while it's still active, especially if I see it like start to heat up,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to cut the dome.
Okay. What do? You just stab into it?
Yeah,
and
like
cut
I
a
when I
hole,
when I
or-
turn it on, and it just like goes zoom and like starts like vibrating, and I start. Oh, it's getting warm. Stab, and then like start like
Yeah.
cutting.
Okay. You do that. You stab into the glass and start cutting into. It's like butter. It just like you cut a big hole into the glass, and then this thing in your hand, it's like warming up and heating up, and like all the water is like sizzling around the plasma blade as you're using it, and it starts to kind of like sputter in your hands as you're using it, and then it shuts off. And you are going to take a level 1 harm. We're just gonna say that your why do you have Wayburned in there? That's weird.
That was from like way
we're-
before.
Yeah, we're gonna say that you have burned your hands here. I mean, your suit is damaged. Your underwater exploration suit is damaged around the the hands. So actually, no, don't take the level 1 harm. Don't worry about that, because you do have the exploration suit. But yeah, this thing has damaged your suit. All 3 of you now have damage to your underwater exploration suits. The 2 of you, not so much. Armand's is much worse.
Shredded.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's more shrapnel than suit.
But you slice into this thing and cut open the dome, and you can reach inside and grab the pyramid if you want
One
to.
thing that I probably should have asked before I did this, but I'm still curious about that, was like, was beneath the dome an air bubble, or was it also water?
Nothing happened when you cut it
Okay,
open, so
good.
it seems like it was water.
I was like, oh, I
Yeah,
should
did
have
not
probably
all,
checked
the
for
water
that
did not
before.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did not all rush inside and
Yeah.
create a horrible
Yeah.
pressure
It's like,
situation.
oops.
No.
Yeah, grab the pyramid.
Okay. You reach inside, you
Yeah.
grab the pyramid, and as soon as you pull the pyramid off, it's on like an altar. As soon as you pull the pyramid off the altar, you notice a like weight displacement happen, like something depresses as you pull it off the altar, and the entire room begins to rumble. So we're gonna activate. The Memish guards definitely know you're here.
Well, how?
We've
Why
been
does
so
a mouse-
stealthy.
We've destroyed half their temple. How can they possibly know we're here?
And this whole building begins to rumble, and you can see like a huge chunk of stone falls from the ceiling, and it's slow because there's water, but falls in front of you and hits the ground, and all the sand comes up, and you can just see chunks of this building are starting to fall around all of you, on top of you.
All right,
And
we
you
got
guys
the
need
thing.
to-
Temple's crumbling. Grab the crap and run.
Armand's gonna snap to attention. I figured out the trap.
Excellent.
We mustn't remove the. Wait. Oh, you triggered it.
Yes. Grab the crap on the tables and run.
Okay. He will do
Who?
that.
Quickly,
Okay,
Slug.
you want to grab all the stuff?
Yeah.
You need to give me a roll of some kind to grab all the stuff.
I got scramble.
Okay.
I got a level 1 scramble.
Do you want just one person to do the roll? If so, can
I want one person to do. I want one person to do the roll, but if you want to help,
I
you
would like
can
to help. I would
assist.
like to
You
take
can-
a stress to assist. So you get one more
Okay.
dice. And you can,
Oh,
you can
boy.
use a
Now I
gambit
have-
if you like. Because that's one thing that I forgot to ask was the action that I took for cutting into the
Oh, that would have been risky. It would
so-
have been
yeah,
risky
okay.
for
So that was
standard. So
another
you
one.
did get.
yeah.
Yeah, you did.
So
get
we're
one.
we're full up on 4 gambits, so you can freely use one. if
Okay,
you
yeah.
want.
I'll use one.
Okay.
So yeet.
So that's 3 dice you're rolling.
2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Roll better.
You grab all of the items. Tiberius has the pyramid.
the
You
stick.
also have the stick, the rod, and then I'll say, Armand, you grab the box and the cube and the sphere. But you guys need to decide. I'm kind of leaning towards. I think you dropped the rod because it got so hot.
That's fair. Yeah.
But one of these things can't come with you. You don't have enough time, or you drop one on the way out.
One of the things, including the rod, or one of the things plus the rod, stay behind.
One of the things, including the rod. So the
Okay.
rod can be the thing that
Yeah,
you.
I'm
drop if you
down
want.
with we know what the rod does. It's cool, but it's not really useful because it overheats. So just leave that.
Yeah, and you guys gather all the stuff together and start getting out of here.
Besides, Armand didn't see what it does, so he can't get excited about
Yeah.
it.
He can be like, ooh, doohickey.
Yeah.
Describe how you guys escape from here.
Daringly.
Oh, I was going to say lots of screaming.
The dichotomy of man and slut.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's like when you ask a married couple how much they like having kids, and they both have very different answers.
So the roof is coming down. Do we see
Oh, that's a good idea.
like can we go up? Like, do we see a path out that way? Like
You
we're building.
you do.
But we'd
you
have to
just
go around to the front to get our sub.
Well, there's that. But I mean, you're
Right.
gonna have to travel through the whole entire temple back out anyway, potentially, right? So that's not necessarily a huge problem. But your big thing here is traveling up towards the, you're basically like navigating through like a meteor shower of rubble that is falling down on top of you. So you can absolutely, and I think that honestly makes sense as being your quickest and easiest and maybe even safest way to get out. But you are going to have to do some maneuvering as you get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for
Yeah,
it.
that's fair.
So it sounds like X302 is like looking up and trying to plot a way out of here.
I am willing to, depending on. Well, we can see how it goes, but he will try. He will take the lead. I believe the quickest round is to simply take advantage of the opening you just made. He will lead the way and try and navigate through. And he's sort of positioning himself to take the impact, sort of like if there's something we can't avoid, try and bust through it so that it doesn't smash into whoever's behind him.
Okay. That makes sense. Well, I'm going to give you an option here. You can either make some kind of roll to try to lead these guys out of here, or you can basically make yourself the battering ram to get out of here, and you can take a harm by using your body as a shield. You can try to resist this harm, but I'm going to leave that up to you if you want to try to make some kind of roll out of this situation or just straight up take harm to be like the battering ram.
Yeah, no, I think this is a blunt tool situation, so I think he's just gonna smash his way through. I will attempt to roll to resist.
Okay, so this is going to be a level 2 harm that is going to be basically like severely damaged. Parts of your body are going to get crunched up pretty bad from using yourself to like block rubble and shield people. But go ahead and this sounds like prowess, which you have 3 dice in. So give me a prowess resistance to the 6 stress that you're going to take because you're trying to resist this. So
Oh,
go
wait,
ahead.
actually, how does that work again? So, how much stress do I need to take?
You would take 6 stress, but you're going to reduce this stress, so you don't automatically get the trauma.
Okay, I was gonna say because I'm pretty high on stress.
unless you roll 3 ones. If you roll 3 ones, you will get a trauma.
Yeah. No, I got a 2, a 5, and a 1. So
Okay, so the 5. So you'll only take 1 stress from this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the harm to a level 1 harm that is, we'll just say damaged. Your body is in a damaged state. We'll say as you guys are jetting up and out, like a huge piece of debris. Oh, whoop. A huge piece of debris is heading towards Armand, and you like jet in front of it and kind of like tackle him out of the way, but also like it kind of crashes into you, and maybe you like jet both of you guys over towards Tiberius, and like you're sort of like working together to pull these guys up and around all this debris, but you're just taking hits in some of these places, but you do pretty well. And you guys manage to just, break out from the surface of, or from, the shell of this temple that is falling apart out into the open deep sea water. And as you do, there are some Memish people here, and they have like these spears, and they're kind of starting to slowly get up around you guys. There's not a ton here because it seems like they've scattered around, but you have caught the attention of, we'll say, like 3 or 4 of these Memish guards as you come up out of the top of this temple here. and one of them seems like he's in charge. He's like burlier and it seems like the biggest one, and he's got this like trident in his hands, and it's got like this cool like weird technological design to it, and he points it at all three of you, and he says something in a language I don't think any of you understand. In this kind of like warbly fish language, he seems like he is violently questioning you.
Yeah, sorry, I don't speak meme. Do you perhaps know common?
He kind of twists the trident at you, and you can see the tip of it start to glow slightly.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Can I don't know if it like. I would argue for this to be an attempt at sway, but essentially what I want to do is I want to make again, I'm using my American bullets.
Persuasive
I am
bullets?
going to I want to do like essentially a bullet trick, like a stunt to demonstrate extreme precision and persuade them that they don't want this fight.
Okay. Um.
Like unbuckle his buckle or something with a shot and wink at him with a
Ooh,
flourish.
that's interesting. Uh.
If you fail, you've assaulted their king.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
You like shoot him through the chest. or
Yeah.
something.
Why don't
Yeah.
Well, hey, problem solved either
Yeah.
way.
Why don't we call this a sway roll?
Okay.
And this is going to be desperate
Definitely.
for limited effect.
Okay. I am going to, without asking, use a gambit.
Makes sense. You can mark the 2 XP in your resolve for making a desperate sway roll.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Come on. 2 6s.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Yep. 2 6s and 2 2s.
All right. Yeah, you have 3 sway. Oh yeah, damn. All right. Well, you get that gambit back, and yeah, you know he's kind of holding the trident towards Armand, since Armand was the one that started speaking, and you very quickly, very deftly, like a classic Wild West gunslinger, pull out your blaster and shoot. And you, we'll say you like he has like a chest, like bracer thing with like a clasp on it, and you shoot, and the bullet hits the clasp, and the chest bracer just kind of like unbuckles, and he stops for a second, and he looks at you, and then he kind of points the trident in you, and then he untwists his hand to like it seems like it depowers. And then he points at you and continues to speak in this language you don't really understand. He is also kind of smiling a little bit, but he's like pointing at you, and his trident is not like totally put away, but he has turned off the power blast that he seemed like he was doing.
So I have a quick question. And this might be something more for X409 or whatever our buddy's name is.
Formula 409.
So in my possible load, I have spy gear. would it be fair to say Spy Gear has a translator built into it?
I think that's very fair.
One of the things listed in the
So-
comments is literally audio filters, so I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So yeah, either I can pop one of my inventory slots to have Spy Gear, or since you already have Spy Gear, you could perhaps translate.
Yeah,
for
you've
us.
already clicked Spy Gear, right? So if you want to
And
have
I did
an
actually
audio
research
translator,
their language, so
That's
I
true,
should
yeah.
have some data on it.
I think this makes sense. Yeah. So if you're gonna kind of pop that out, and then like also, with what you have come to understand about the Mimish people, yeah, he is basically asking if he's asking for a duel. He's like, oh, so you want a one-on-one challenge between you and I then?
I believe you may have just challenged their leader.
Oh, how fun!
Oh, well, sure,
It's unclear
why
about
not?
the stakes.
It'll be fine.
Um,
Worst case scenario, we die. Best case scenario, we get out of here and they're kings of meme.
he turns to X302, since it seems like you are, translate. Like, it seems like you're the one that's understanding him and translating. And he says, tell your friend I will fight him on the beach so that we are on equal footing.
We'll fight them on the beaches.
So fight them in the lap. Yeah, I'll relay that information. I'll just reply. I'm going to assimilate because I'm assuming my translating back into their language is rough because piecing it together with whatever I had scrambled over the night or whatever.
You're
but
you're like Google translating kind of
pretty
poorly
much.
back to him. Yeah.
I will send back the ignorant, cocky one accepts your conditions.
He points to the submersible and says, "We'll follow you. Head up." And he oh, you didn't take. I'm gonna say you guys don't have these artifacts like obviously on you, but he says we will take our artifacts from your bodies once you are slain.
Yeah, fair enough.
We will wrap your bodies in rice once you are slain. And a thin sheet of algae.
So they're gonna escort you back to
Yep.
your submersible.
Oh boy.
And so you guys get into the submersible, and more of them start to gather around as they're escorting you back. There's maybe, now that they're all starting to gather, there's maybe 20 of this group here. And they all seem to have like similar insignias on their like armor that they're wearing. And they will follow you as you start heading back up to the surface. I do want to ask though, Armand, are you still? I think you're muted. Are you still?
I was.
There we go. Are you still kind of like keeping yourself open to the way, or you were kind of overwhelmed? Did you sort of?
Yeah, I think once he hit that integer overflow, and after we got the doohickey, he would have shut the Wadar off.
Okay. Well, then we'll just say that they follow you, and you guys start heading back up to the beach. Does anybody want to do anything? as you are heading up.
So I have an idea on how to help you win the fight with this boss fish man.
Okay, that's good.
I will reach into my pocket and pull out a grenade and hand it to him. Run up to him and pull this.
I thank you.
And I am going to mark a detonator just in case I need it.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sensing a theme for this group of ragtag pirates or whatever we are.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So you guys head back up and get to the well you have an option. You can either head to the island research station that you came from, or you can try to find a different place that's a little closer that you can stop at and try and get out. Now, you're not going to have any place to dock. But you guys kind of tell me what your approach is here. They basically just said, we'll follow you up and we'll fight on the beach. They did not seem to have much of a destination in mind.
Should we go back to the island just in case we need to make a run for the ship?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose we could try and lose them. I don't know how fast this thing will go.
Well, I don't think it's a matter of how fast it'll go, but how big and obvious it is.
Yeah, I don't think we can escape them. So this is gonna be, yeah, I think going to the island so that we can make a run for the ship if needed is a good plan.
Yes, and if that doesn't work, we'll use one of these depth charges.
Please make sure I'm not moving before you detonate that. Like, at all.
Okay, I'll wait till you're standing still.
No, not even breathing.
Okay, in between breaths. Got it.
So you
I'd probably
I'm gonna mark something. I'm gonna mark something else on my load that I get for free. And before we hit shore, Armand would like to take one of his detonators and take some space duct tape and space duct tape a space Ziploc baggie full of totally legal substances to the grenade in case we need a distraction. I'm making a drug bomb, yes.
On the topic of drugs, I did want to ask if I can mark my illicit drugs to get some like dual performance enhancing drugs into my system.
Yeah, totally. You absolutely have some like upper stimulant drugs that make you have like laser.
Gotta get the
vision,
barrel
like focus. Yeah. You absolutely can line up some blue space crystal powder and get yourself ready to go. All right, you head to the Cult of the Seekers research station. Do you guys dock at the research station, or do you guys pull up further along the island? Because you have to like you guys left from like a research station dry dock type thing that you guys would have to. No. So you can
also
dock back into
it felt like they didn't want us to be obviously involved
I don't think
with
we
them.
needed to blow back on them.
Yeah. So we need
Maybe
like
somewhere closer to the ship.
Yeah, like a beach closer to the ship.
Sure. I'll say that you guys can pull up to a place that is. So here's basically the situation. This is not a very big island. So regardless of how much you want to seem associated with the Cult of the Seekers, this is the island that the Cult of the Seekers has their research station on, and there's not a whole lot of other stuff here. But this is where we decided to go, so we're gonna roll with it. But you guys can pull up to a spot where there aren't as many research station buildings. That is kind of like underneath the landing platform. It's like kind of like off underneath of the landing platform, and there's like a beach and some caves. So you can kind of like pull the submersible up, get out sort of close to the beach, and go over to the water. And if you need to like make a run for it, you basically have to like run up the beach, up like a big hill to where the buildings and the landing platform starts. And maybe you have some other options to be able to get yourselves up there, but like way above you you can see like the platform. So you kind of like are underneath it in the shadow of the carved out platform and the caves on this island.
Sounds
Sound good?
perfect.
Yep.
So you guys pull up there and get out, and the Memish guards or soldiers or whatever they happen to be all kind of get out, and as they like swim up to the beach and walk, they just like submerge up out of the water like Aquaman, like I was talking. And they all just kind of submerge and walk out of the water, and some of them have tridents and some of them have like different kinds of weird weapons. And the big one at the front, who seems to be their leader, walks over to a place on the beach, and he looks over to X3, and you guys probably all get out of your underwater exploration suits at this point, right?
Yeah, I'm getting out of that the first chance I get.
Yeah.
I'm also going ahead and preemptively filling out some more of my loadout, and I am going to equip my heavy mechanized armor, which I think for X302 is probably just sort of like him altering himself, like plates pop out, like he just kind of becomes protected. He's in like bulwark mode or something.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I just realized you guys would have gotten out of the suits when you got onto the ship,
submersible,
coming back up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Standing around in suits talking to each other. Yeah, cool. Sounds good. You're in like bulwark mode. And the boss Mem will look at X302 and he will say, I will not use the blaster tip on my trident. We will fight hand to hand.
Are you any good at fighting hand to hand? Never seen you exhibit.
I mean, it's essentially the same as close range fire, isn't it?
Oh dear God.
One of the smaller ones will walk up, and he's got like a smaller trident, and he'll kind of like throw it into the sand over by Tiberius's feet, if you want it.
Look, all you have to do is make sure that the pointy end goes into the other guy.
Yeah.
I would like to gamble on whether or not I can do something to help Tiberius. So I have an ability called Predator. And whenever I gather information on a subject, I can learn about a weakness or a vulnerability. I get plus one dice to all rolls against those targets. And the worst possible result you can get is a 4 or a 5. So I would like to maybe convey a weakness or vulnerability, some information that I gleaned in my studies previously to him to maybe give him a leg up in the fight, since this doesn't seem to be his bread and butter.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, because the nature of the research you did before was not necessarily like the like physical vulnerabilities of the Memish people, I'm going to make you spend one more stress.
Sure.
As like flashback stress. But then, yes, I think that you can point out to him a couple of things. One, they're not as strong on land as they are in water. They're still probably stronger than you, but he's not as strong here on the beach. So he kind of it seems like there's like an honor thing at play. He kind of evened the playing field. Two, they always breathe through their gills. They do not breathe through their mouth. So if you can incapacitate his gills, you might have a good chance at something. And then three, their head tentacles are way sensitive. So there may be something you can do to his head tentacles to stun him and maybe give you a chance to get away depending on what you know. And will you just read Predator again one more time, just so that we get
take +1 dice to rolls against weakened or vulnerable targets. Whenever you gather information, the worst you can get is a 4 to 5.
Okay, so here's what I'll say. He is not weakened or vulnerable yet, but with some of this information, you potentially can make him weakened or vulnerable. And then you will get the +1 die if you use some of this information that X302 gave you. Okay. Tiberius.
Yes.
A trident has been thrown at the ground in front of you.
Now, do I get the impression that they insist on trident combat, or that it's just melee combat that they insist on?
Oh, they make it pretty clear. He'll even say to X302, he says, like, if he wants it. Yeah. It has been offered to you. You do not need to use it, but it is in the sand by you, and we will just make a note of that.
The premise is that you don't shoot because he can also shoot, and I suspect his shooting is a much bigger boom than
probably
you'll sight on.
I am going to mark off a load, and I am going to pull out my fancy noble house dueling sword rapier thing.
Nice.
Respect.
It would have been way cooler if you kept the beam katana.
The one that overheats after a second.
Look, all you have to do is hit him with it once.
Yeah. It's like I'm actually attacking him with a stick and then just waiting for the proper end of the stick to be like somewhere around his head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or you just turn it on and throw it at him and let it blow up.
Okay. Well, he, in classic badass fashion, when you pull out the rapier, he holds out a hand to you. He's got his trident in one hand. He holds out a hand to you, and he does this. He says, "Come at me, bro."
Okay. Alrighty.
So what do you want to do?
So here's what I'm thinking. Tiberius is someone who very much relies on, among other things, dirty tricks, but they never said anything about dirty tricks. But he is someone who relies very much on like speed and acrobatics and that sort of movement. So what I'm gonna do is, as soon as he makes that motion, I am going to just charge at him. And then in the last moment, I am going to essentially like slide and do a kind of like a waving motion with the sword to kick up sand towards his gills.
Okay.
And face. And immediately after that, kind of like swish, like do like from the bottom up top diagonally with the sword to get the sand kicked up, and then immediately like swing around and go for a lunge at his like tentacle face thing.
Okay. What do you want to call that?
I would argue it's a scramble.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay. So I get 2 dice from scramble. I get 1 die from the illicit drugs.
Yes.
And I'm going to use a gambit.
Okay.
It's fine, guys. I bring gambits back home, so I'm gonna be using them a lot.
It's fine, guys. I'm on drugs.
It's fine. I'm on drugs. I don't think I have anything else.
You could push yourself for 2 stress or accept the devil's bargain.
Now, do I know what the devil's bargain is before I accept it?
Yes, I will tell you if you want to know the devil's bargain.
Tell me what it's gonna be.
Okay, so you can have an extra die, but if this doesn't go well for you, you're going to be right up in his face, and he is going to straight up grab you by the throat and pick you up. So,
Yeah, fair. I'm gonna take.
you want it?
Yeah.
All right. That's 5 dice.
I only have 4 dice in my hand, so I'm gonna reroll one.
Okay.
Oh my god. Yep, that's the highest is a 4.
Okay. So you dash towards him. You kind of slide down. You slash up with your rapier. Some sand kind of gets up in his face. He lifts up his hand, and then you slice up at him. You do slice. You see some tissue tears and some, dark blue blood kind of starts to pour out. Not a ton, but you get a little slice on his belly, and he winces. And then he laughs and grabs you and picks you up into the air. So you did do some damage. It does not seem like you got a ton of sand in his face or gills. And now he's got you. Although, you're not in a super disadvantageous position. You do have a sword in your hand, and he just picked you up. But it's a sticky situation. Okay. He is going
Armand
to...
is frantically, pantomiming, pulling a pin from a grenade.
Yeah, you do have a grenade in your coat. We'll say that.
Wonderful.
He picks you up, and he is just going to slam you down into the sand as hard as he can. So this is going to be... this is going to be a trauma, I think. Because it's going to... Basically what I'm going to do... No, I'll just have it be harm. It'll be a level 1 harm of broken ribs when you hit the ground. So you'll have whiplash and broken ribs.
Does level 1 harm, does it make sense to try to resist that with resistances or not?
It's up to you. You are going to have less effect on all your rolls going forward. I also forgot to tell you what that roll was going to be. That would have been risky for great effect. I think would have been the direction, or maybe standard. But anyway,
yeah.
So if you take this level 1 harm, you're going to be at less effect for all your rolls because you are going to be pretty significantly damaged.
Yeah.
You also might have armor
that is
in your load that you can use.
I could
if
use
you
armor.
want.
How does armor work?
So if you have armor in your load, which you do, you've got a couple here, and you've only marked off 4 out of 5, so you would be able to use 1.
Yeah,
I would say that
next to the items that's just I'm just devil's advocating here, but next to the items it says italics don't count for load, and both mystic ammunition and illicit drugs are italicized.
You are correct. I stand corrected. So yes, if you wanted to, you could check the 2 armor. But basically, the padding from the armor would negate the level 1 harm.
I will take 1 of the armor then.
Okay. I'm gonna ask now that you either pick light armor or medium armor and choose to mark off 1 or 2.
I would not had 2.
You got it. So your armor will absorb this one effect, and then we're gonna mark off the armor here on armor use as well.
Yep.
By your. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So yeah, he slams you into the ground, but your armor will absorb that for now. What do you want to do? He's still kind of holding on to you.
He's still holding on to me?
Yeah, I mean, he picked you up by the neck and then slammed you into the ground, like neck and back first.
How
and his hand is
big
so,
of a distance is it between like his hand and his gills? Like, can I reach his gills?
Totally.
I'm literally gonna take
could
a
stab.
handful of sand and shove it in his gill. On the side.
Okay. What do you wanna call that?
I mean, I would still argue for scramble, but I don't actually know. Like, scramble just makes...
I'll let you do it again.
Okay.
I'll let you do it again.
Okay. Do the drugs still apply?
Yes, the drugs will still apply, and you spent 1 gambit so far, but if you wanted to, you can spend another
Oh, I
one.
definitely will spend another gambit. So that's 4 dice.
And you can still add on pushing yourself or a devil's bargain if you want to.
Nah, we're good for now.
Okay.
Fuck. That's a 3 and 3 ones.
Whoa.
Yeah, you go to shove some sand in his gills, and he laughs at you, and he knocks your hand away, and he lets go of your neck, and he stands up, and he puts his foot against the side of your head into the sand, and just starts to press your head down into the sand. He has not fully picked up and done like a curb stomp, but he is just like applying pressure to the side of your head.
Yeah.
We're going to call this a level 1 harm.
Mm-hmm.
He still kind of like kicked you. Like he still kind of like put his foot on your head. So we're just gonna say concussed, unless you want to resist this. We're gonna say that you are mildly concussed.
Yeah,
from being slammed into the dirt, and now he's kind of like stepping on your head.
Yep. Yep, I will be concussed.
What do you want to do?
You know what? This whole gill thing is just not working for me. I am just going to stab at him. Screw this.
Oh, I will say, go ahead and take 2 XP in your prowess for the scramble. That was desperate for honestly limited effect. So, but I gotta remember to tell you this stuff ahead of time. But go ahead and mark the 2 XP in your prowess for that.
Alrighty.
Should we be helping him, or?
I mean, I believe at this point either he wins and we leave, dies, then we fight. The terms were not clear.
Okay.
Oh boy,
Okay.
this is gonna. Oh god. Oh god, this is gonna end badly, but I'm gonna try it. I'm actually gonna try a sway. I'm going to pretend to be unconscious.
Nice.
To let him let off
possum.
and then do a surprise attack.
Okay. That works for me. Sway, and then anything you want to add in?
Drugs?
No, you do have the drugs.
Okay. Yep. Sorry guys, I will be using our last gambit for this. This is
It seems like important.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, come on.
You ever go to an ocean planet and your captain just gets high off space meth and starts fighting a fish?
It loses to a fish. 5.
Okay. Yeah, you pretend to be unconscious, and
Oh,
he
by the
lifts
way,
his
what
foot
was
off.
it? What kind of roll was it?
Oh, desperate.
Okay.
So go ahead and mark the 2 XP. It's going to be
Nice.
desperate for. You have less effect right now, but I'm actually going to say that that would have been great effect. It's desperate for great effect. You're pulling like a really risky, possum type move.
Yeah.
But we're going to lessen that effect to standard. So you can mark the 2 XP.
Nice.
And then he kind of steps off of you, kind of thinking you're unconscious, and he grandstands a little like to his fellows, and X302 you can basically make out he's like, this is the best that these humans can do. And then you stand up and you thrust out with your rapier and you stab like right into his neck where his gills are. And you do a decent amount of damage. He does immediately react and backhand you a little bit, and when he does that, he sends your rapier flying into the water.
Yep.
And you get pushed back a little bit, but no harm comes to you immediately. He does though. He like kind of grabs at his neck, and he's like, you can see there's this like dark liquid coming out, and he is choking a little and kind of gurgles what he's saying at you. And then he takes his trident and thrusts it at you. And I'm gonna say you have to resist this, otherwise you're going to take. This is gonna be like a level 3 harm because he's gonna stab you like right in the chest.
Yeah.
So tell me how you want to resist this.
I'm just gonna duck out of the way with prowess.
Okay. That sounds good to me. 3 dice there. Anything else you want to do?
Do the drugs apply?
Yes.
I will be milking those drugs as much as I can. Okay. That's a 4.
Okay. So you take 2 stress.
Yep, which is gonna fill up my stress. So I will take a trauma.
Okay, so go ahead and clear all your stress.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have to figure out what your trauma is. Give me a little bit of time on that one. But you'll just take the 2 stress, and you dive underneath. He does clip you, so your trauma is gonna have something to do with him kind of clipping you with the trident. So it does a little bit of damage, and you're hurt. But you have an opportunity here. If you can get another hit in on this guy, you're pretty sure you can either end him or put him in a state where he will have to surrender to you. So what do you want to do? You dive out of the way, and we'll say he like gets your arm instead of in the chest. He like gets your arm, and we'll say the trauma is that you're gonna have a bum arm, a bad arm. We'll say it's your left one though. You're not left-handed, right? You're right-handed.
I'm right-handed, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll say it's your left arm. So your shooting arm is still good, but your left arm is going to be your bad arm now.
If he attacks, could I provide an assist and toss him the trident?
Sure. You'll have to spend a stress for it, but if you guys want to do that.
So he's kind of like, I've gotten up, stabbed him. He has kind of like backhanded me. I ducked, but he still kind of clipped my arm. So I'm kind of like,
You dove past him. He clipped your arm with the trident, and now you're sort of like behind him a little bit, and he's holding onto his neck, and he's got his trident, and he's starting to wheel around towards you. You would have gotten an extra die because he's a wounded opponent.
for the
Roll 1 extra die really quick. Yeah.
3.
Okay, never mind. That's cool.
Okay.
And you'll get that on this as well.
I think this is gonna be, yeah. I'm gonna. I can't justify scramble or sway, but I think this is gonna be a skulk, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because you said I'm behind him, which is amazing. I'm going to reach out from behind him, grab his tentacles, and yank backwards as I put my knee onto his back.
Okay, that sounds like Skulk to me. You got one from Skulk,
I get one from
one from the
Skulk,
drugs.
one from the drugs, one from Predator.
Mm-hmm.
And since my stress is cleared, I'm gonna push myself. And
This is gonna be, I'm gonna say risky
mm-hmm.
for great effect, but you are at less effect because
Yeah.
of your harm. So it'll be just risky for standard.
Come on. Finally a 6.
Okay. Yeah, you get behind him, you grab his tentacles, you get your knee into his back, and you pull him down. And what do? I mean, he still has his trident in his hand, but you clearly like as soon as you grab his tentacles and start really pulling on them, he is clearly like having a little bit of a reaction that's it's not just a physical reaction from you grabbing him. He is like slightly stunned in a way. And so you have an opportunity here. What do you want to do?
Ooh, that is a good question. What do I want to do? I mean, we did get the impression that they're like honorable and shit, right?
Yeah,
Yes, you
seems like
did.
it.
While still holding that tension, like while still pulling down on the tentacles and pushing up with the knee, I'm just gonna lean in and I'm gonna say, "Are we done here?" In a conveying the idea much more through my tone of voice than like relying on him understanding my words.
Okay, I'm gonna ask for one more roll here. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be, and you can use something else if you want to, but I think this sounds like sway.
I absolutely
Um,
think it's sway because like I'm trying to persuade him that this is like the merciful way out. Like I don't want to
yeah,
kill him.
and then go ahead and use. You can still have the die from Predator, and you can have the die from your drugs. So that's
Amazing.
5 dice.
That's a 6.
Okay. Yeah, he lets go of the trident and kind of like, he puts both of his hands up. Well, actually, he's still holding on
Yeah,
to his
yeah.
neck, but he puts his hand up and he yields to you.
Okay.
And this group of Memish soldiers kind of start to murmur and chatter among themselves, but he kind of like you back away from him, and he kind of like falls back onto the ground and slowly pulls himself up, and then a couple of his friends come over and start to help him up.
I'm gonna toss him a med
And
kit.
X3. Okay. Yeah, you throw a med kit towards them, and one of them leans down. He picks up and looks at it, and nods at you, and brings it over to him. And as they're kind of like pulling him away and bandaging him up, he says, "I guess X302, you're the only one who can really understand this." But he says, "I won't forget this. The rebellion won't forget this."
As Tiberius starts walking toward, first the flamethrower behind his back powers down. I knew you could do it. Never had a doubt. And I'm gonna walk over to. It was Armand that had all
Yeah.
the random crap.
Yeah.
We got what we came for. How about we give them back the other stuff we don't necessarily have a use for?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I,
So he will
Fine.
and I'm gonna go
collect
pick
the-
up
Can you
the
give them
sword
back?
as well.
like the sphere
The-
and the
The
cube
sphere,
and
the
that
box,
stuff.
and the
Yeah.
cube.
Mm.
Yep. Okay.
And just take
So
it back.
you-
And like, sort of present
Yeah,
it to them.
they look very surprised, but grateful. And as they're bandaging their leader up, he looks over to you and he nods at you, X302. And they all basically are repeating to you some variation of the rebellion won't forget this. We appreciate it. You have a friend here.
Oh, that wasn't a threat.
Um,
Good to know.
Oh.
No. It might have kind of sounded like it because he was
Yeah.
very hurt and damaged. But no, it seems like they actually, there's some kind of honorable, like you bested their captain, let him live, and now you're returning and like helped heal him, and now you're returning items. They are very, very surprised by how honorable you guys are being. So I'm actually going to add in over in factions. It is not one that's written down here, but we're going to add it over into just under weirdness. Technically, I guess it's a criminal syndicate.
When
We're gonna add
I when I pick up, because you said my sword flew off like into the water. When I pick up my sword, because I'm assuming it didn't fly like off into the depths and like lodge itself in Cthulhu's pores. I am going to like pick up my sword, and once I do, I am just gonna do like, I'm assuming there was some sort of like honorable good fight salute that I learned to do back when I was still a noble, and I'm gonna do that like at him, just kind of like a good fight, like a well
Yeah,
done.
he's not in a state to get up and do much back to you.
No.
But he kind of makes like a a Vulcan-esque hand symbol towards
Yeah.
you as like a symbol of like peace.
Less impressive when you only have 3 digits.
And so I'm gonna say that you guys have one status now with the Memish Rebellion, which is I'm gonna say a tier 2 organization. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Well, now you guys can. They leave. They like get back, pull their captain back into the water and swim off. You guys can get back into the submersible and then go and dock at the Cult of the Seekers research station dock that you left from.
Sounds good.
And when you get there, there are all the different researchers around, but your Bra Rahim, the guy who gave you the job, a big, darker skinned, he's got a beard and black hair, and he's wearing like robes, but they're not like big, heavy scholar robes. They're kind of like light and cover up what seems to be like like leather underneath. And when you guys are all getting out, he, some of you look a little worse for wear. He immediately goes over to Tiberius and says, are you okay? Well, what can we do for you? Seems like it was pretty rough down there.
Nah, it was fine, and I collapse.
He got himself into a bit of an honor duel with the locals. He prevailed, for what it's worth, such as it is.
A temple fell on us.
Also that.
The whole temple?
Yes.
Top of it.
Oh. Man, I was hoping we could potentially go down there and do some more exploration, but it sounds like it was pretty dangerous. And if the whole site is collapsing, then maybe it's not worth it.
Agreed.
There are other expeditions here that will probably take more resources the hegemony wants to pursue anyway. So, anyway, what happened? Do we have the artifact? What kind of readings did we get?
Armand will rifle through.
Wait.
our
What do you
boys'
mean? What kind of
pockets.
readings did we get? Was like? Did we just need to take a photo of the pyramid? Was that all we were supposed to do?
No, he meant more like what did our readings?
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Bring about, like what you know.
Because that would have been like,
Yeah.
oh, we did not understand the assignment.
Wait, that was a recon mission?
Yeah, that
oh.
oh.
Yeah, Armand's
We
gonna
blew up
rifle
a
through
temple.
Tiberius's.
The recon mission is successful if there's nothing left to recon.
Yeah. But yeah, he'll take back his grenade and hold up the doohickey. We found this. It's pretty well in tuned with the way.
This looks similar to the one that we recovered from Slugmoxia.
Yes, it probably has a horrible way creature attached to it too. So here you go, and I will toss the horrible cursed artifact to the scientist.
Oh yeah, he like catches it in his hands and he's like, "Oh, incredible, truly." While you guys were gone, we did some research into the artifact we recovered from Slugmoxia, and we've made some interesting discoveries. We believe that these are the missing keys to the Hantu Gate. And potentially, if we can find more of them, we can open up the closed warp gate to the Hantu system. And we can discover what's on the other side.
Yeah, I'm down for that. I have nothing better to do until the great space worm appears.
Perhaps you could allow the great space worm to traverse to a new system.
I could spread my
Yes.
beliefs.
The civilization closed off the Hantu Gate well before any of us ever came into existence. So none of us know what's on the other side of the Hantu Gate. But with these keys, we believe we can make some great discovery. And this it seems identical to the one we found on Slugmoxia. Surely there are other sites that hold similar keys, and we can gather them all. Well, you've done us a great service, Tiberius. You're like kind of collapsed over into a chair.
Just bleeding.
Yeah.
There are some. They actually get some medics to like come
Yeah.
over and start patching you up. One of them pulls out like a little small box. And he opens it up, and there's this little like dermal patch. And he pulls out the dermal patch and slaps it on your neck, and you just get this like rush of more stimulants.
More
but
uppers,
they're
yes.
not as illicit. Yeah. You start to feel yourself like clear out a little bit. You're feeling a little bit better.
Ooh, that's some good stuff.
And
Takes any more drugs, he's going to become one with the way. And I don't mean he's going to die. I mean he's going to ascend.
And he'll say, thank you very much. You've done a great service for us. We need to do some research into where we can find some more of these sites to find these artifacts. But once we do, can we get a hold of you? Will you potentially explore some more ruins for us?
As long as they're not on some hell planet like this, yes.
Yeah, you can, yeah, sure. You can reach us under 555 heists are us.
Well, and there you go. You guys successfully completed your first real job. Why don't we... We can either call it here or we can do XP first.
Yeah, let's do XP and see how quickly Tiberius's power session.
We'll do XP, and then we'll do the payoff and everything next time. So let's get into each character. Let's start with X302. You address a tough challenge with force or threats. I think you did that at least once with the robots. I'm wondering if you had another one. Is there another one?
I mean, I went face first through the rubble to
Yeah, I was about to say.
solve
All
the
right,
escape.
go ahead and mark.
The battering
You can
ram.
mark 2 XP. You can mark 2 XP for that. And you can mark this in a playbook or an attribute, whatever you want to do. So there you go, 2 XP for that. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I don't know.
I don't
What do you
think you
think?
did.
I don't really think you did.
Not
And
particularly.
you struggled with. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say the only thing, beliefs-wise, that he's done the entire session was decide to give the stuff back to them, just because he also is not a big fan of the hegemony. The hegemony.
No, go ahead and mark 1. Go ahead and mark 1 XP for that one. I think that is very fair. Belief drives, heritage, or background. I think that's fair. And then you struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during this session, and I don't really think you did.
No.
So there you go. You can have 3 XP from that job.
Remind me again. So when you fill out the XP in an attribute, you get to put 1 check in something in that attribute. How does the playbook XP work?
When you fill out
You
the
get to pick
playbook,
one of your skills.
You just pick one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, if you want to, if you're trying to get Battleborn or whatever you want to have, you can build up your playbook to mark one of the special abilities on there.
Okay.
Okay. Mystic. Did you fill anything up, by the way, or are you still working
No,
towards?
either way, I decide to go with this. Nothing gets filled up.
Okay. Let's go with Armand, the Mystic.
Yes.
You addressed a tough challenge with wisdom or the way. I think you did this at least. Oh, did my headphones just die? I think you did that at least once.
Yeah, I did the Wadar.
Okay. Why don't we mark that one? Give me just 1 second. Let me grab my other headphone.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'll go ahead and mark an XP for that. I think. Oh.
Yes.
There we go. And then you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. What do you think about that?
I think I kind of did when talking about like, oh, this is one of those religious puzzles.
Yeah.
Yes, they always end in death.
Okay. I'll let you mark 1 for that as well.
Hooray, pity point.
You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during this section, and I kind of think that you did struggle with issues from your vice this session. Your vice is...
Oh, yeah, it's...
Didn't you, sit down and meditate?
Way worship, yeah.
Yeah, it's way worship. And just kind of in general dealing with stuff from the way like that. So yeah, I'll let you mark an XP for each one of those. I don't know if you did any of those more than once, but I think at least once for each one.
Yeah, I think once each one was about right. And that
Cool.
puts me at a maxed out playbook. And you know what? I'm going to put the 2 extra points into insight and work on getting some kind of knowledge-based skill. But yeah, for my playbook, I would like to take kinetics so that I can push myself to do one of the following: use the way to throw a table-sized object with dangerous force-propelled, with dangerous force, or propel yourself briefly with superhuman speed.
Rad. That is pretty cool. You now have kinetics.
Yes.
All right. And then, last but not least here, the scoundrel. Yeah, pretty cool session today, Tiberius, I gotta say.
That was a lot of spotlight.
You...
I think
What's
I've
up?
done each of my 3 multiple times. So with addressing a tough challenge with charm or audacity, I think at least that it was quite audacious the way I just went for the pyramid, and I did charm the leader into a duel.
I also think that whole situation was pretty audacious as well. Yeah, I didn't consider the audaciousness of, activating the artifact and then it's like overheating in your hands and you just went for the pyramid. I'll give you that. So yeah, you can mark 2 XP for that one.
Okay.
You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. You definitely did that at least once.
It depends on how you count it, like if you count it per scenes or not. But like I did it once at the beginning of the duel when I decided to use my dueling sword, and then I did it also at the very end of everything when I did the like salute.
I'm gonna roll those into.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, there we go. I'm gonna roll those into the same thing.
That's
so
fair.
just 1 XP on that one.
Alrighty.
And then you struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during this session. Well, you definitely got a trauma this session.
I got a trauma this session, and also there's been a number of roles where Tiberius catastrophically failed to live up to his name of a legendary and adroit and adept scoundrel.
It's fine. Neither of us have heard of you before, so
yeah, that's what I was gonna. I was gonna say, like, nobody. I mean, this honestly, I think this whole situation goes to propel your legend as this like fallen prince of a hegemonic house. You challenged a Memish, like a very powerful Memish soldier, and you beat him. Like this will be told for years probably. So I'm not super sure about that one on that side of things, but I do think because I gave you the bad arm, you didn't really struggle from it. I'm not gonna give it to you.
Okay.
Because what's your vice? Your vice must live up to the legend of his alias. Actually, I will give you one. I do feel like you kind of took this challenge as I have to live up to who I'm supposed to be. So I will say that. So you can have 2 for tough challenge for trauma or audacity, and then 1 for each of the other ones. That's 4 XP for you.
Yep. I'm going to put 3 into my playbook, and I'm going to fill up my prowess with the 1 remaining one. And I'm going to put a check mark into scrap.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
I've learned to fight.
Well, that was a really cool job. That was a job well done, in my opinion. I think we figured out a lot of stuff about the game this session, and great job. And next time we'll get into the payoff and the downtime and all of that stuff. So that'll be pretty cool. Well, all right. I guess that's where we're gonna leave things for tonight. My name is Fisher. You can find me on most social medias at Screw and Tuna or at Twitch. I'm at Franchise Fatigue, and I'm playing some fun stuff. But yeah, I'm throw it out to these guys and see what they're doing. John, what about you?
well, I was going to bring up the Waluigi meme, but I forgot to. But yes, hello, I'm John. I can be found online at Crim's Bacon. I can be found on my own podcast, Bacon Flavored Pods, where depending on the text message I receive on Monday, we will be running a Beacon campaign set in the world of Final Fantasy XII that includes D, and a Manifest game that includes D and Fisher. I can be found on Would Be Heroes. Yeah, I can be found on Would Be Heroes, where I run 2 games as well, which also may be impacted by Monday's text. One of them is a break campaign, the Twilight Labyrinth, and the other one is a Pathfinder 2nd Edition game, where Fisher is also there. I am also on, again, depending on Monday's text message, I'm also on dang near everything else here on Would Be Heroes, including D's Cypher game, this game, the Call of Cthulhu game when everybody's around, Alejandro's D&D game, Mike's D&D game, so on and so forth. I can be found on my friend's Twitch channel, Bore Immortal, where sometimes we stream when our schedules align. And yeah, if you have too much money and not enough draws, I can give you draws in exchange for money.
All right. D, why don't you take that?
Hey everyone, I'm D or Night Wanderer, that's Wanderer with an O. You can find me here playing this, you can find me here DMing Gilded Age, a Cypher system game, you can find me here playing in the Call of Cthulhu game, you can also find me on John's Bacon Flavored Pod playing Augustus Crimp in the Mecha vs. Kaiju game, which is currently on hiatus. You can find me playing Ben Stevenson, who has a horse named Steve Benson, in the Manifest game. I am playing Corvin in the Beacon... Is it Beacon? Yeah, it is Beacon Final Fantasy game. I am in Ben Newbon's Cybertopia pod, which we have a whole bunch of episodes which are coming out, and since it's bi-weekly and we've done a lot of recording, it's a lot of episodes left until we get to the very interesting finale of that show. You can also find me on my own Twitch under Night Wanderer, that's Wanderer with an O again. I play games thrice a week, 2 times in the evenings, CET, currently, and once on Sundays at 11 a.m. CET, which is in 6.5 hours. The games that I'm currently playing are Baldur's Gate 3, Mass Effect Legendary, we're still on the very first game, and Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which I'm probably going to be wrapping up within the next 2 to 3 streams, and then we'll be shifting over to some other game. You can find an itch and all of the stuff under a link tree that is with Night Wanderer. I think that is it. I mean, that is it. That has to be it. I can't be doing more than that because, like, come on.
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Adam, what about you?
I've disturbed the dog. I'm Adam, better known as Soulbind, most places on the internet. You can find me at soulbind.card.co. It's got links to all my socials, my VO demo reels, clips from APs and TTRPGs that I've been involved with, some sound design stuff, a little bit of everything. And all my socials are on there. So, yeah, go check it out.
All right. Again, I'm Fisher, and this has been Space Surfers. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks, hopefully. So, all right. Peace out.
Bye.